then if we agree or accept that for the moment, then the question arises, can the mind, which is the network of all the senses, actualities and so on, can that apprehend, see, observe what is truth?
Provided the mind can be free of all its conditioning.
No, that's why I'll come to that a little later, but that's the problem. To find out what absolute truth is, the thought must be understood. The whole movement and the nature of thought must have gone into observed and has its relative place. And so the mind then becomes absolutely still, and perhaps out of that, in that stillness, truth is perceived, which is not to be measured by words.
Yes, there I agree completely.
Yes, fully. I agree with that.
Now, these are the two, isn't it?
Yes.
A human being is caught in this movement of thought. And he projects from this movement projects what is truth.
This is the mistake that man makes.
Of course. He projects from this to hoping to find what is true. Or projects what he thinks is true. And the truth can be put in different words. God. Brahman, they call it in India. Or Nirvana. Or moksha, all that business. So our question is then, sir, can the mind cease to measure?
That is to say, the mind as it functions at present in each one of us as an individual.
Yeah, as human beings.
As human beings.
Measurement is our whole educational, environmental, social condition.
Yes.
Would you agree that?
Yes.
Then what is measurement?
Limitation.
No, what is measurement? To measure. I measure a piece of cloth.
Yes.
Or measure the height of the house. Measure the distance from here to a certain place, and so on. Measurement means comparison. Right?
Yes.
I'm going on talking. I don't know why you all don't join.
Yes.
Well, there's also psychological measurement, obviously.
Yes, there's physical measurement.
Oh, yes.
And psychological measurement. One measures oneself against, psychologically, against somebody.
Yes.
Yes.
And so there is this constant measurement of comparison, both externally and inwardly. Right?
Yes.
I'm giving a little, what's the idea?
Well, I put the question to you.
Yes, sir.
As they put the question to Vimalakirti, I put the question to you.
What's the question?
What is non-duality? What is truth?
No.
You are explaining.
As long as thought is measuring, there must be duality.
Absolutely. That is so.
Now, how has this conditioning come about. You understand, sir? Otherwise, we can't move away from this to that. How has this constant measurement, comparison, imitation, the whole movement of measurement, why has man been caught in it?
The whole measurement is based on self. Self.
Yes,
Because the measuring is done.
Yes,
Taking
but
self.
how has it come? Why have human beings, wherever they live, are conditioned in this measurement, through this measurement? One wants to find out what is the source of this measurement. You follow, sir?
Yes.
Well, part of it seems to be the fruit of observation, because you observe the duality of life in terms of night and day, man and woman. There's change of seasons and this kind of thing, which is a certain kind of contrast. There's a certain contrast apparent.
So
and
you're saying
it may seem a natural step to say that there's therefore a kind of contrast or comparison which is applicable in man's own life.
there's darkness, light, thunder and silence.
Yes.
It seems the thought needs a static point to measure, and it itself is very moving constantly, and in a state of continuous flux or movement it can't measure. So it creates a static point which is immovable, which is taken as the center of the self, and from there only it can measure if it's itself moving.
Yes. I mean, the very word better, greater in English language is measurement.
Measurement, yes. Certainly. Measurement. Certainly.
So whatever the language itself is involved in measurement.
Yes.
Now one has to find out, shouldn't one? I'm just asking, what is the source of this measurement? Why has man employed this or as a means of living? You follow my question, sir?
Yes.
One sees night and day. High mountain, low valleys. The tall man, short man, woman, man, child, old age. Physically, there is all these states of measurement. There is also psychological measurement. That's what I'm talking much more than the mere physical movement of distance and so on. Why has man been held in this measurement?
Probably he thinks it's the way forward to some extent, because if you're a farmer and you plant a crop in a certain way and you get this kind of result, and the next year you plant it in a different way, you get that's a better
yes.
result.
So it is time.
It's time.
And go on, sir, a bit more. Time.
It's a kind of it includes the ability to reflect, to have experience, to reflect on experience, to produce something better out of that experience, in terms of probably an established notion of what is, the good, what is the better thing to have, or what is the right situation of things.
That is, of course, but I want a little more further than that, which is, why has man used time as a means of progress? I'm talking psychologically, not time which is necessary to learn a language. Time is necessary to develop a certain technology, and so on, so on, so on.